How you doing, YouTube? This is Chris Mizo here with another video about the Nintendo Switch. If you're looking for a Nintendo Switch, make sure you listen to every detail because this involves you and the resupply of Nintendo and their Switches. And if these are the kind of videos that you like, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below for all the newest videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Let's get straight into it. I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting to hear about that big resupply. Here's that big August update that you guys been wanting to hear. And I know it's been slow on the news on the resupply of everything and the Nintendo Switches. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys out. You guys may still be having a problem when trying to get that sweet Nintendo Switch, but as you may know, that suppliers are having a lot of issues and problems when getting these Nintendo Switches because they're going as fast as they hit store shelves. And of course, what doesn't help the situation is because more and more places are getting locked down, especially in the States, that you have more people that are stuck at home. And what's better to do than to actually play a Nintendo Switch? So of course, they're still having trouble on trying to keep the demand of the Nintendo Switches in the stores because everyone is still buying them out. So you got millions and millions of people still stuck at home. So right now you got stores such as Best Buy, Amazon, Target, Walmart. They're all trying to keep up supply of the Nintendo Switches, right? So of course they have this high crazy demand, and now they're even having trouble on having stock of even the Nintendo Lights, as if it was hard enough to get an OG Nintendo Switch. Of course, you're gonna have scalpers take advantage of this golden opportunity because they could charge whatever they want for those Nintendo Switches because they know you guys are desperate enough to get them. And if you guys are patient enough and waiting for that Nintendo Switch in store, you guys can get regular price for them Nintendo Switches. But as long as if people are paying for these overpriced Nintendo Switches, they're still going to have a major problem with scalpers and flippers. I know it's been a ridiculous amount of time waiting for those Nintendo Switches to be in store shelves, but hang in there. But I gotta tell you, perseverance on getting a Nintendo Switch will prevail. As many other people out there who was waiting to get a Nintendo Switch who has one in hand can tell you, it's worth the patience in order to get a Nintendo Switch. And if you guys are still struggling on getting a Nintendo Switch, let me know in the comments down below the very reason why it's hard for you to get a Nintendo Switch. Are you having trouble getting stock in store? Or you're trying to get it online? Or are you in a real rural area where it's hard to even get any Nintendo Switches out there? Just let me know in the comments down below. And guys, get this. So from an investor, he asked a question. And what he asked was, Nintendo Switch is in short supply due to the huge success of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I feel that Nintendo was not able to support this sudden increase in demand, which led to a major opportunity loss. Please tell us about your future plans for handling the production system, sales method, and predictions for demand. So of course, Furukawa says, we would like to express our apologies for the inconvenience experienced by many consumers due to a shortage of Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lights. There has been continued on and off shortages throughout markets worldwide, specifically since the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons in March through today. Console production has mostly recovered. However, because there is some amount of lag between where the product is manufactured and when it arrives on retail shelves, and worldwide demand for a Nintendo Switch remains high, please understand that we cannot currently answer when the shortages will be resolved. Regarding the comment about our production systems and demand predictions, we take this very seriously, and we are working toward improving the situation as soon as possible. Hey Fam Bam, you're gonna want to listen to these very details here. Mr. Furukawa believes that most of the demand has recovered and most of the production has, but the problem is that they're unable to keep extra consoles in stock in stores because of how high the demand is for these consoles. In order to curb the demand for Nintendo Switches, because it's been so crazy, especially for scalpers, in order to prevent them from buying one, they create these bundles. A lot of these retailer has created bundles for these Nintendo Switches because it would be less cost effective for them to flip a Nintendo Switch bundle. which many retailers that include GameStop, which I don't really approve of them because of how much they're charging for their Nintendo Switch bundles, which is $519.99 for one of their Nintendo Switch bundles. And that includes Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Minecraft, and also Animal Crossing, New Horizons, plus a Pro controller. And of course, you get the console. And it's a little bit overpriced for what they charge because the Pro controllers just went on sale. And how much do they really usually charge for Minecraft? I just gotta say, who would have thought we would have had hand sanitizers and toilet paper bundles before we actually have a Nintendo Switch in stores, right? And Europe had a decent supply of Nintendo Switches, and so did Australia, but they burned right through store shelves already. And of course, Nintendo Switch is having trouble in every other region in the world. Do you know the reason why Nintendo is going to have a big issue if this problem does not get resolved promptly? The problem is that Sony and Microsoft will obliterate Nintendo's sales if they plan on continuing the release of the holidays of 2020. But you know what the real problem is? And Nintendo needs to inform their consumer base who really wants to get a Nintendo Switch on exactly what is happening. I have no doubt in my mind that Nintendo will take care of this issue promptly, but you gotta let the people know exactly what's going on. Otherwise, they're gonna go turn and go to a different console just because at least they know they can get a console in hand. Such as Microsoft and Sony promise that you don't need to pre-order a console in order to pick one up. So Nintendo, you guys gotta wake up and do something about this mess. All we can do is hope that Nintendo doesn't put themselves in a hole, because that's the last thing they really need to do. I just gotta say, if you guys have any tips to share with the fan band down below to let them know how they can get a Nintendo Switch during this situation, please let us know down in the comments down below, because they're in the same situation that you were in maybe a week ago, days ago, or months ago. But if you share the information with them, it could provide useful for them in finding a Nintendo Switch. If you haven't seen the card right above my head on how you can get a Nintendo Switch today, it will save you a lot of time and effort in trying to pick a Nintendo Switch up. If you watch every little step and every minute of that video, you will have a Nintendo Switch in your hands today. And make sure you click that card to see all the information. Also, fanbam, you're going to want to listen to these very next details in order to get a Nintendo Switch on the update of August 2020 of how you can get one in your hands. And right before I get to that, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you're thoroughly enjoying it. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button down below for all the newest videos and hit that notification bell. And for all the newest updates, make sure you follow my Twitter handle right here. Now, depending on whether you plan on picking one up in person in retail, or if you're going to try to get it from an online retailer and have it shipped to your house or apartment. Now, to get one in person, make sure you actually check the retailer's app, such as Walmart and Target, Best Buy. They have great inventory updates on their app. They might have it in their app saying that they might have a certain amount of quantity available. Now, if you try to call that store and they say they don't know if they have Nintendo Switches or that they still are continuously sold out, just make sure you go to the store and show them that they have it in stock, because most of the time when they do have it in stock, when it does come in, they scan the UPC and it updates the stock quantities. Most of the time, those associates might not even know that they actually have stock inside their warehouse. So it's a good idea to go to the store, and if you see one in quantity, make sure you just go there and let them know that you're there to pick up a Nintendo Switch. If you're trying to pick one up online, keep an eye on Amazon, Best Buy, and even GameStop, but you gotta go for GameStop's bundles. I gotta admit, they have pretty good control of their inventory, GameStop, because of how much they're charging for these bundles, and depending on how bad you just want to get a Switch, and if you like the games that come with that bundle, I would suggest then getting a GameStop bundle if it's worth it to you. Or you can get just the console from Best Buy as soon as it goes from sold out. And you see add to cart, make sure you add it straight directly to your cart. That is literally the best way you can get a Nintendo Switch. I hope you guys found this video very useful. As soon as I get breaking news or breaking information, I'll make sure I let you guys know all the newest updates. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo, signing out.